So, Vic Mignogna has sued 4 parties here. You've got Funimation, you have Monica and Ron, and then you've got Jamie Marchi. Of course, all these players we've heard something about from now. You've got Funimation having a particular date set in stone for a response. Monica and Ron have been having their back and forth lately. So we've been seeing that play out. What we haven't heard from is Jamie Marchi. And to be honest, trying to figure out where the heck she is in all this, it's been kind of weird. So we, of course, know she's been apparently dodging the process as if it would go away or something as a result. So, you know what, let's just get into it, shall we? So I'm still new to this whole face cam thing, of course, so you just have to bear with me. However, we've got Jamie Marchi, who's been apparently dodging the process. Dodging, not dodging, she says she's not. It looks like she is. I mean, heck, we've got this thing here where the citation and plaintiff's original petition for delivered Jamie Marchi. We've got 5, that's 5, unsuccessful attempts at delivery with possibly somebody there at the residence at least one of those times. So let's just quickly go through that real quick. But the first unsuccessful attempt was on May 1st, 2009, 7:45 p.m. I attempted to service the address above. There was no answer at the door. Went back to my car. I could see someone looking out of the window, which is an important thing to remember, by the way. I went back and knocked on the door and rang the bell. I still didn't get an answer. The vehicle belonging to the defendant was parked in the front of her home. I left a card on the door for a call back. 2, unsuccessful attempt, May 4th, a few days later. I attempted to serve at the address above. There was no answer at the door. 3, a few days later on the 8th. I attempted to service the address above. There was no answer. Again, this one at 10 a.m., the first one at 8 a.m. on the 8th was another unsuccessful attempt. I attempted to service at the address above. There was no answer at the door. A white BMW that belonged to the defendant was parked in front of the home. I checked for other vehicles registered for the defendant at the same address. It appears that the BMW that was parked out front was the only vehicle registered to the defendant. The blinds were open downstairs to set across the street where the defendant would not be able to see me until about 1:05 p.m. That's dedication, by the way. That's several hours of sitting there. At the time, an Encore utility truck arrived at the defendant's home. The driver got out, went to the defendant's door. I pulled in front of the house and waited. The defendant did not open the door. The Encore driver left the home, and shown in Exhibit A, which also shows the vehicle's registration or registered to the defendant. The Encore driver sat in his truck for about 10 minutes and then left. I stayed another 10 minutes and left. On the 5th one, next day, May 9th, I attempted to service at the above address. There was a couple of 5-gallon bottles of water at the door. I pulled across the street and waited a moment. There was a FedEx truck that pulled up and delivered a carpet by leaving it at the door. I left a card on the carpet roll. So, she has been not served. Well, okay. At the point, she hadn't been served and nobody could serve her, apparently. They've tried 5 times, couldn't find her. So let's just sort of take a look at what she was doing on her end this entire time. Don't mind me. I'm just hiding in my house. Oh yeah, walking my dogs, getting groceries, pet supplies, targeting a lot, and planning and taking care of my front yawn, garden work, attending announcements, conventions. I'm the best hider in the land. Anyway, she decides that it would be really good to make fun of this process, to try and meme this process, apparently. You know, apparently some people seem to get it in their mind if they don't get the papers, they don't actually have to get in on this process and start doing anything, like defending themselves from anything. I mean, you are getting sued after all, so you probably want to go ahead and get all that on lockdown and somehow get out of it as quickly as possible. You know, so do whatever it is that you need to do to try and settle with this sort of thing. But instead, Jamie has decided she's going to hide but not hide, you know, while doing other things and sort of making light of the situation. And we'll just go down memory lane of how all this sort of unfolded. And the saga continues as she continues to post an Instagram photo of where she currently is, because nobody can find her. And I guess, you know, I'm pretty sure the service processor isn't stalking your Instagram or Twitter to find you. They're just going to keep hunting your house because that's what they're supposed to do at that point, until they find additional ways to serve you. And then, a hint, solve the mystery, another Instagram post on where she currently is. And the fuzz will never find me under the Snapchat filter, where she takes a Snapchat with a filter. Oh, and somewhere along the way, she decided to change her thing on Twitter at running from the law, because, I mean, it sounds funny and all, but if somebody is able to use this somehow to prove that you were doing something like, I don't know, dodging process, I'm not sure how that works. You know, usually I think the judge and stuff usually gives you a pass when you mess up the first time, especially if you've never dealt with this sort of thing before. But when the second time comes around and you have to produce something by a certain time and stuff like that, they're not going to give you much of a pass after this. Just saying. They probably are not going to give you a pass. And then, of course, you know, when I was saying, you might want to remember the first attempt here. No, looking through the blinds. Here we go. The Woman in the Window, new book, something to about the cover just spoke to me, which is definitely a reference to that first attempt where they didn't, where they tried to serve her and somebody was obviously looking back at them. Don't know who it is. I have no idea who all lives in that house, if it's just Jamie, if it's other people. It'd be really funny if only Jamie's the only one living there, so you kind of know then it was her. But, yeah. We do that. And then, of course, we've got the latest one. Who's the Canadian Coffee Drinker? Autographs today at 5. We'll be accepting most papers at this time. Of course, what would be really funny is if somebody actually, if one of the process servers could actually go to the con and hand it to her while she's signing autographs. I think that would be hilarious. That's just me. But the saga does continue. They did file an thing for substitute service, where they are asking to serve this in a different way, like placing the document in a 1-gallon plastic Ziploc bag and sealing the zipper to protect it from the elements, fixing it to the front door at the above mentioned address with a zip tie to secure the document to the door, then and there taking a picture of the document attached to the door as shown in the true and correct copy of the original picture taken by me, attached herein as Exhibit A. And the person over 18 years of age, blah, 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 pretty much saying, you know, I did this, I'm the process server, that sort of thing. And what do we got? Boom! She has been served. Jamie Marchi has finally been served. I fully expect either for her to finally get a lawyer and we can actually see some kind of action going between her lawyer and Ty Beard, and see how that's gonna play out, because that would be interesting to see how that one plays out, of course. Or she could say she's been using her back door for the past month and then some, and just never used the front door, so had no idea that that was sitting there. Although unfortunately, by law, once it's attached to the door, even if you've never seen it, for whatever reason, you're officially served at that point, and ignoring it from that point on is really probably going to be a very, very bad idea. Anyway, so that pretty much does it for all of that. Tell me what you think about this all down in the comments below. Do you think she was dodging the server? Do you think she was just completely somehow always missing whoever the process server was, just conveniently out at the same time the process server was there? I mean, the process server showed up at multiple times during the day, early in the morning, later in the day, stayed there for several hours at one point in time. Do you think she was just conveniently out, you know, going to the Targets, walking the dog, all that good stuff, doing gardening because I guess she gardens. Who knows? Let me know down in the comments below. Until then, I will talk to you later. See ya. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.